Alright lads, so today we got some kind of exciting news regarding a future update that we might get in December, but maybe January of 2022. But other than that though, we also have some information regarding the errors this game has been having. We're going to talk about that for the first part in this video. So as you can see, finally Caleb have addressed the problems this game has had since, I believe, Friday when they introduced the new update. Now the update was kind of good in terms of the stuff they added for the most part, but at the same time it's also one of the worst updates because they completely broke the game. Because it's such a big, wide scale, like, error, like whole issue, that of course Caleb are going to address it, because it's such a big issue in the game that I was pretty much just waiting for Caleb to finally address the problems. They finally done it after what, like 3 days. Now I do understand why they didn't address it the first 2 days of the initial error, because it was the weekend for them. No one was in, I guess, the studio to actually to make an announcement. Although it would have been nice if just one person, or maybe Alex on Discord. The Discord's there for a reason. Just a little acknowledgement that they are aware and they're going to fix it soon would have been great. Unfortunately though, it took them till Tuesday. Personally, they should have done it Monday to actually finally address the issue. Or maybe it's still Monday in Japan for them, I don't know. But yeah, they finally addressed the issues, and they say here the 4 big errors: a login error, Caleb ID verification failed error, performance issues, and issues with in-game images. Because for the most part, the game has been unplayable for a lot of players out there. Like for me, I'm actually very fortunate enough to have no problems almost whatsoever. Besides like a random lag spike in a point event, or the random error like of my character's loading in just a tad bit slower than usual, I've been pretty much fine. But other players can't even play the game, like, without a VPN I've seen. It's actually crazy amount of bugs I've seen in this game. And, yeah, it's crazy. It's not good, right? And hopefully, even though Caleb have addressed it right now, hopefully they can fix it in a very quick manner of time. Maybe, hopefully, the next day or two. And hopefully, most importantly, they can compensate the players well for it. Because, you know, if they want to dish out full refunds for a certain amount of players, they can afford to give like 100 orbs when it comes to issues like this. Because some players are missing out on their dailies. Some players are now going to be like 35 orbs down. Free-to-play players, at least, that do their dailies every day. They're now going to be orbs down because of this issue. And 25 orbs, 5 orbs even, I'm going to cut it. Like, I don't think even 100 orbs would cut it. Anything under 100, disrespectful in my opinion. But yeah, I do appreciate they finally acknowledge the problem. But yeah, I'm really hoping the compensation's just a bit better. Other than that though, lads, hoping over to the Discord, we have some other information to talk about. Now, for the most part, they just apologize for the issues with the level indicators. I appreciate when they apologize, because like it feels like they actually mean it. Especially like when they say here that they added the, you know, links or potions, or making it better for links or potions because they can use it outside of IZ. They added 5x soul tickets to sub-stories to help quality of life. And then they say here that we understand that these are only small steps to changes that need to be made in the game to keep up everyone's expectations. I appreciate when they say stuff like this, but at the same time, you know, they're not addressing the elephant in the room, the Kisuke compensation, because there's no mention of it right here. I was really hoping with all the announcements they made today, they would have addressed it or said something about it, but nothing. It kind of looks like they're going down the silence route of just ignoring it until it just passes over. Let's not let them do that, because this is like game quitting stuff. People have already quit the game because of the Kisuke compensation. People aren't happy, and going into the Global's anniversary, it's a time to be excited and happy to play this game. And the Kisuke compensation, if they don't sort it out, it's not going to be a good time. And it kind of sucked they didn't address it here. And again, hopefully they can address it sometime soon, because it's been like a week now since they've actually dished out, I believe, and still nothing. Complete silence. Other than that, though, they do mention here that today marks the Xmas Present Tournament. It's a little campaign for Christmas where we can get like 50 orbs essentially, and maybe like 10 skill keys. I like the idea of like a tournament bracket and we get to vote for who wins. It's a cool idea, but the rewards are outdated, as always with Caleb. The 50 orbs is great and all, but it should be 250. It should be 500. Like, come on. It don't... one free multi a month? Don't break the economy, Caleb. It's ridiculous. But enough complaining, right? Let's talk about some of the good things that are now coming to the game within the next month or two, right? And this is something that we've been asking for a very, very long time, and this is going to be one of the better updates when it comes to quality of life for the most part. And I know Killab do drop the ball occasionally when it comes to quality of life updates, but this one, it's going to be hard to drop the ball, right? I don't see how they're going to mess this up, and I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. So firstly, dev comment number 1, accessory filters. With the introduction of more accessories and effects, we understand that the filter system has become insufficient. We are currently planning on changing it to improve usability. This is still in the trial phase, but we plan to make it easier by making you able to filter accessories by accessory effect, who it affects, and secondary effects. Please refer to the future in-game notifications for more details and the date this will be implemented. So, okay, I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care about the accessory filters. I guess it's nice just to have it. Not that big of a deal personally for me, but, you know, better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. Secondly, though, this is the big one. Dev comment number 2, accessory second effects. We are considering adding a feature that will allow you to use multiple editing brushes at once in order for you to more easily roll your secondary effects. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. It is, bro, I know there's no point complaining that it took like 6 years to do it. Like, that's just, you know, let's not be negative about this. It's just great to see them finally adding it, right? Because right now, when it comes to rerolling accessories, good lord, does it take it too long. Like, doing one brush at a time can literally take like an hour. I've been there. I'm sure you've been there too, where it could take like up to an hour, potentially even more, to get the one effect that you want. And that right there is ridiculous because they're not making money off it. It's just bad because it makes people fed up. People actually quit the game because of the accessory effects and how annoying it is just to get the one that you want. Some people even outright avoid working on accessories because of how bad the rerolling system currently is. And it's nice to see using multiple at one go. We don't know how much you can use at a time, but either way, that's already a great start to making accessories better, because this right here is going to decrease the time it takes for you to get the secondary effect that you want, and that's a great change. In addition to that, they also add another thing which is also beautiful at the same time. We are also considering a function that will allow you to select a secondary effect and the effect number before you roll and let you keep rolling until you get the selected effect. That right there is also really good. Both of these combined is going to just speed up the process of which you get secondary effect. And you know, for a lot of players out there, let's be honest, people macro until they get the secondary effect. So this is basically like a built-in macro for the most part that just allows you to put 30% SP on a pill, for example, or a T set, and then you put your phone down and let the game just automatically do it until they get the effect that you want. This is great in my opinion, and it's a great start to fixing the accessory problem that we do have in the game right now. Now, even though this is a great change that's going to be coming to the game soon, I would also like to see them to do more and go above and beyond this, right? So let's say, for example, let's put a random number. Once you reroll an accessory 30 times after selecting a certain trait, if you don't get it within 30 rolls, it guarantees that the next go. That would also be even better. And again, that would pretty much fix every problem we have when it comes to accessories. So I would love to see them, in addition to these two implementations, give us like some kind of soft pity system that allows us to get the secondary effect that we want in a very short amount of, you know, editing brushes. Because there's really no need for the secondary effect issue to be this big right now, because they don't get any money from this. People aren't going to go say, oh, you know, I just spent an hour rerolling my accessory, didn't get what I want, now let me go buy editing brushes. No one does that. So I feel like this is definitely one of the bigger things they need to address, other than what they've just already announced here. These two changes are great, but also allowing us to have some kind of pity system to get the effect that we want in a short amount of editing brushes will also be very good. If we don't get that though, it sucks, but this is still great and way better than what we currently have right now. At the same time, in addition to those three things I just mentioned, what I would also like to see, more editing brushes in circulation in terms of events, because right now the only way to actually get editing brushes is by playing Thirsty Extreme Co-op, and veterans can play that, new players really can't. And for the most part, the new players are the ones that struggle when it comes to getting the effects they need, so they can actually start playing the game with good accessories, getting into some of the harder content that this game now has when it comes to Ultra IT, for example, and the new changed ultimate difficulty for epic raids. So I kind of hope here, with this new change, they can start making editing brushes more available in just other content, right? 7C Extreme Co-op should see an increase in terms of editing brushes, and in general, maybe the friend con point system can give us editing brushes. Maybe you can just get more available from other content, because editing brushes right now are way too rare for what they actually are. Like, there's just no need for them to be as rare as they are. It's just kind of ridiculous. So alongside these two updates, I would love to see a pity system, and I would love to see editing brushes more available. And once we get that, this accessory system is perfect. It'd be one of the best accessory systems in the game, in any gacha game for the most part, right? And that is something I'm hoping to see in 2022. At the same time, I guess they could also add an effect where if you have 50% SP, you can't get something lower. That would also be great, although it's not that big of a deal compared to the two things they mentioned here and the two things I want to see when it comes to a pity system, and also just more editing brushes in general. And then lastly, for dev comment number 3, it's pretty much a throwaway. They just mentioned that they're aware of modders, people are getting issued, bans, warnings, whatever, for modding the game. Don't mod the game. Don't be that guy. Other than that though, lads, that's basically the breakdown for this month's dev comments. Pretty exciting stuff that they finally addressed the accessory stuff, because again, we've been asking for accessory revamp for the longest of time, and it's nice to see them finally address it. That's actually kind of exciting, and you know, for the most part, this is looking good for the game. But then other than that, you know, they still haven't addressed the keys to conversation, but I don't want to be too negative in this video, so I'm just gonna leave that as that. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think about the dev comments that we did get today. How do you feel about it? Personally, I'm all for it. I'm excited to see what they can do in 2022. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and until next time, peace.